Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Sixers reveal Joel Embiid's final playing status versus Miami Heat. With the 2023-2024 NBA season winding down to its final stretch, every game matters more to the Philadelphia 76ers. On Thursday, the Sixers will battle it out against an Eastern Conference rival, the Miami Heat, in a game that could have major playoff implications. Therefore, the status of the star center Joel Embiid is critical. With Embiid this season, the Sixers have established themselves as one of the toughest competitors in the East. Being that the one-time MVP was putting together a strong campaign to win the trophy in back-to-back years, Embiid was the focal point of Philly's success early on in the regular season. When he went out following a January 30th matchup against the Golden State Warriors, the Sixers found it difficult to stay on top of their game. Dealing with a meniscus injury, Embiid chose to get surgery, which required at least 8 weeks of recovery. Earlier this week, Embiid made it back on time, as he was upgraded to available on Tuesday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. As expected, Embiid played fewer than 30 minutes, but his impact on the game was still certainly felt. He accounted for 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists in the upset win over OKC. Heading into the matchup against Miami, the Sixers listed Embiid as questionable. When the team participated in a morning shoot-around session, the veteran center was present, which was a positive sign he could be ready to return to the floor without missing action since returning. Once again, Embiid is cleared for action and will play against the Heat. The Sixers will tip off in Miami at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Knicks star Jalen Brunson gets MVP endorsement from top NBA coach. Miami Heat coach Erik Spoelstra has grown accustomed to Jalen Brunson's brilliance. Spoelstra coached against the New York Knicks star and tried everything in his defensive playbook to stop him last spring. But still, Brunson nearly single-handedly beat his vaunted Heat team in the second round of the playoffs last season, averaging 31.0 points on 50.4% shooting and 6.3 assists. Then in the summer, he coached the Knicks star at Team USA in the FIBA World Cup in Manila, Philippines. So when he heaped praise on Brunson before the Heat beat the Knicks 109-99 on Tuesday, April 2nd, in Miami, it was not just a lip service. He's having an MVP-type season, Spoelstra told reporters, per New York Post. He's at that level right now where you're not taking things away from him. Spoelstra, voted by the general managers as the top coach in the NBA regarding motivating players, in-game adjustments, and the best defensive schemes, described how difficult it was to hold Brunson to 20 points on 5 of 18 shooting night. It is difficult because you corral him and then now they have the three-point shooters, Spoelstra told reporters after the game. Probably everybody's saying, how did he get open? That's how he got open. Great players force you to bring a second defender and sometimes a third defender, and then you have to scramble and make things up from there. But he's that good right now. His footwork and his cleverness, his aggressiveness playing against your aggressiveness, the entire package just makes it extremely challenging. You just have to be absolutely rock solid and disciplined, and sometimes he's going to make shots even when you do that. Brunson went to Tuesday's game against Miami as the newly minted NBA Player of the Month in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks All-Star point guard averaged 28.8 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game while leading the Knicks to a 9-5 record despite the absence of their other All-Star, Julius Randle, dislocated shoulder, and OG Anunoby playing only in 3 games and a brief return before re-aggravating his elbow injury. He scored a career-high 61 points in a 130-126 overtime loss to San Antonio on March 29. It was the second most points scored by a Knicks player in a single game in the franchise history, just 1 point shy of Carmelo Anthony's 62 points in 2014. Brunson is averaging a career-high 27.8 points and 6.6 assists this season. Despite Spoelstra giving Brunson his flowers, the Knicks star was inconsolable after the loss. Brunson had every right to use his cold as an excuse as it affected his overall effectivity. But he didn't. Instead, he took the blame for their third straight loss. "Everyone else did their job except for me," Brunson told reporters. "The cold doesn't matter." He was hard on himself after committing an uncharacteristic 5 turnovers. "Expletive, carelessness," Brunson said. Despite Brunson hitting 9 of 10 free throws, Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau felt he should have had more. "It says 10 free throws, but he's getting fouled. I hate to say it, it's that simple," Thibodeau told reporters before sounding like a broken record. "He's getting fouled," Thibodeau said 6 times. Heat get morale-boosting Tyler Herro injury update after loss to 76ers. The Miami Heat may be coming off a dispiriting 109-105 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers on Thursday night that knocks them out of the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference standings for the time being, but help in the form of Tyler Herro could soon come. According to Zachary Weinberger, Heat beat reporter for Clutch Points, Herro has traveled with the Heat to Houston for the 3-game road trip, which means that a return to the hardwood could be imminent for the 24-year-old guard who has battled through a plethora of injuries over the past year or so. The Heat's guard depth has been tested immensely, and it seems like head coach Erik Spoelstra isn't too fond of Patty Mills or DeLon Wright, the 2 guards the Heat acquired off the buyout market. During their Thursday night loss to the 76ers, both Mills and Wright did not receive a single second of playing time. Thus, Tyler Herro's return will be very much welcome, especially for a Heat team that has put up just the 18th best offense in the league since Herro went into his extended absence. Tyler Herro has played in just 36 games this season. Herro has missed 2 extended stretches this season, missing 18 games from November to December, and now, his absence against the 76ers on Thursday marks his 20th consecutive missed contest. It has been a year marked by lower body injuries for Herro. During the month or so he missed from November to December, he had to tend to the grade 2 ankle sprain he sustained in a November 8 matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies. From December 18 to February 23, Herro only missed 2 games, showing little to no ill effects from his ankle injury. However, in late February, Herro had to deal with knee and foot injuries, with right foot tendinitis being the official injury, as per his designation on the injury report, that has kept him out for nearly a quarter of the season. The hope for the Heat now is that Tyler Herro is healthy enough to help them out for the final few games of the regular season, as well as their eventual playoff run. As one would recall, Herro played in a grand total of 1 playoff game last season after suffering a broken right hand. Herro has a track record of stepping up in the playoffs, so he'll be a huge help to the Heat's hopes of recapturing last year's magic. While the Heat have shown that they are very capable of mounting a deep playoff run from whatever seed they enter the postseason in, they would not want to tempt fate on 2 consecutive years. With 6 games to go in the season, they are sitting in 7th in the Eastern Conference standings. This would have them on a collision course against the 76ers in the 7-8 play-in tournament matchup, which isn't particularly ideal given how dominant Joel Embiid can be in a single-game setting. The Heat have one more matchup against their closest competitor for the 6th spot in the East, the Indiana Pacers, and that will go a long way towards sealing their fate as an outright playoff team. If they get the win over the Pacers on April 7, they win the season series and the head-to-head tiebreaker. Thus, the potential return of Tyler Herro for Miami's upcoming road trip could be very crucial. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Tyler Herro? Leave your opinion in the comments.